Good evening. You're watching the 7 o'clock English news from the Sultanate Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq receives a written message from His Highness the Emir of Kuwait, handed over to His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said. The Shura Council discusses the drafts of amending some provisions of the laws of insurance companies and takaful insurance. And with the aim to boost security and to achieve self-sufficiency in food, model fields of plantation of lemon, mango and date palm trees are implemented in various governorates. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq has received a written message from His Highness Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jabir Al Sabah, Emir of Kuwait. The message is related to the bilateral relations and supporting areas of joint cooperation between the two brotherly countries as well as countries of the region. The message was received by His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, when he received today His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al Muhammad Al Sabah, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Kuwait, who conveyed greetings of His Highness Sheikh Nawaf and best wishes to His Majesty the Sultan. The meeting reviewed the growing relations between the Sultanate and Kuwait, stemming from the strong bonds binding the two brotherly countries. People's meeting also touched on a range of current issues pertaining to means of supporting the GCC march, in addition to the latest regional and international developments and matters of common concern. The Kuwaiti Minister of Foreign Affairs underlined the fraternal and historical relations as well as the constructive cooperation between the two countries. He underscored the importance of expanding fields of joint cooperation in different spheres to support the existing ties and enhance the exerted efforts in this regard. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, and His Excellency Dr. Suleiman Abdullah Al Harbi, Ambassador of Kuwait to the Sultanate. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, held a bilateral consultation session with His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al Muhammad Al Sabah, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the State of Kuwait. During the meeting, they reviewed the strong bilateral fraternal ties between the two brotherly countries and affirmed their keenness to deepen and consolidate constructive cooperation and support and develop areas of cooperation in a way that yields more mutual benefits and serves common interests. Views and consultations were exchanged on all regional and international issues, as well as visions and ideas to enhance the pace of joint Gulf action in light of the results of Al-Ula Summit that was held on the 5th of January in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Shura Council discusses the draft amendment of some provisions of insurance companies' laws and takaful insurance law in a session headed by His Excellency Khalid bin Al Maali, Chairman of the Shura Council. More in the following report.
Today, the Shura Council, in its 7th annual session, referred a draft amendment to some provisions of the corporate insurance law and a draft amendment to the takaful insurance law after approval of the reports of the Economic and Financial Committee of the Council. And a draft proposal to amend Articles 20 and 21 of the Advocacy Law, which lay down the conditions for attorney registration before courts in Oman, was also approved. The amendment was justified by pointing out that after the Ministerial Decree No. 261/2016, issued by the Ministry of Justice, which allowed non-Omanis to attend and plead before the Courts of Appeal and the Supreme Court until December 31st, 2020, due to the small number of Omani lawyers who have completed the stipulated period to attend and plead before the courts. The Council aims to encourage more young people to pursue advocacy by reducing those periods. The session also reviewed a set of ministerial responses to a number of follow-up questions, including the economic effect the lockdown had on the Wilaya of Matrah. In its 6th annual session, the Shura Council discusses corporate insurance laws and Articles 20 and 21 of the Advocacy Law, concerning the conditions for attorney registration before appellates and Supreme Courts in the Sultanate. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Ahmed Mahmoud Al-Hanai, Muscat.
The first phase of the connectivity project was launched today between the Council of Administrative Affairs for Judiciary and Public Prosecution, and more on that in the following report.
In line with Oman Vision 2040 and its objectives in the field of institutional digital transformation and in support of the advancement of judicial work, the public prosecution launched the first phase of the connectivity project with the Council of Administrative Affairs for the Judiciary.
This initiative was long foreseen. It's been a few years since we had the link between us and the Council of Administrative Affairs and the Judiciary and the Public Prosecution. Today we celebrate the zero paper link between us and the Administrative Judiciary Affairs. This link, of course, comes with the Oman Vision 2040 to speed up the process of the cases in the judiciary system.
As of March 1st, cases will be referred electronically from the public prosecution offices to the penal departments in all courts around the country, while the referral of actual paper case files will be permanently stopped.
It has been lots of stages before this, but this is, I think, the initial point where there are zero papers. Before there were stages where some documents are passed through the courts, but today we celebrate the zero papers between us and the court, and of course a few other stages will come up, but this is the main point where there's no transfer of paper documents between us. The link is between all our prosecution departments and all the courts all over the region of Oman.
The integration process will be completed by specialized committees according to a timeline to allow even parties in the dispute to use the same technology and have their cases settled in the same manner. Indeed, harnessing technology in the judiciary work will contribute towards achieving a swift judicial system. صالح بو خلفان الرحبي, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources is currently implementing model fields for plantation of lemon, mango and date palm trees in various governorates to boost security and to achieve self-sufficiency. More details in the following report.
To boost food security and to achieve self-sufficiency, the project is aimed at providing high-quality dates, providing good income for the farm owners, as well as establishing exemplary farms with high quality and excellent productivity. The project targets to set up organized farms with a minimum area of 5 acres and is aimed at boosting the produce of mango, lemon and date palm trees with the support from the ministry. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources supports the farmers by distributing quality seedlings of mango, lemon and date palm in coordination with the authorities in various governorates. A total of 73,000 date palm seedlings which were cultivated in 2020-2021 on 120 acres with 26 farmers benefited in the first phase. These farms are expected to yield 370 tons of date worth 365,000 Omani Rials, beside a total of 4,326 lemon seedlings were planted on a 50-acre area, in addition to 3,182 mango seedlings planted on a 37-acre area. It can be noted that the success of cultivating a number of date palms and fruit crops comes through the interest of the ministry in producing and increasing date palms and fruit seedlings in its research centers, introducing new varieties, improving agricultural operations, and conducting a number of research studies during the past years to boost agricultural produce. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rabi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Still to come, our news bulletin. A virtual arts exhibition in the Governorate of Brahmi utilizes modern technologies in serving the arts movement in the Sultanate. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. New Zealand's largest city of Auckland is going back into 7-day lockdown after 2 new unexplained coronavirus cases were found. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern made the announcement after an urgent meeting with top lawmakers in the cabinet. She said the lockdown took effect from this morning. Ardern in Wellington said they have been thankfully without loss of life by COVID-19 for some time. The alert level changes were announced late yesterday after 2 new coronavirus cases located in the community, which could not directly be linked to earlier cases. She said they are so close to getting an extra layer of protection into the border system through the vaccine rollout. Last night, people in Auckland were seen enjoying one of last evening out, and others were lining up for outside supermarkets to do one last shopping before the lockdown. Early this morning, police forces were conducting checkpoints on a highway in Mercer, south of Auckland. Auckland earlier this month was placed into a 3-day lockdown after new cases of the more contagious variant first found in Britain were found there. Hungary's Prime Minister today received a COVID-19 vaccine developed in China as his country aims to boost vaccination rates using jabs developed in Eastern countries. Viktor Orban was inoculated with the Sinopharm vaccine, a vaccination center in Budapest. Before receiving the vaccine, Orban had said that he chose to receive the Chinese-made vaccine because he trusted it the most. Hungary last week became the first country in the European Union to begin using Chinese Sinopharm jab. The country's government has been critical of the speed of the EU's vaccination program and has purchased vaccines from Russia and China to boost procurements. The novel coronavirus has killed at least 2.53 million people since the outbreak emerged in December 2019. At least 113.75 million cases of coronavirus have been registered. Of these, more than 69.6 million cases are now considered recovered. Yesterday, 8,713 new deaths and 385,666 new cases were recorded worldwide. The United States remains the worst affected country with 511,998 deaths. Other hardest hit countries are Brazil with 254,221 deaths, Mexico 185,257, India 157,051, and the United Kingdom 122,705 deaths. Europe overall has 850,906 deaths, Latin America and the Caribbean 676,702, Asia 256,035, the Middle East 104,046, and Africa 103,490 deaths. The British Treasury Chief Rishi Sunak today ruled out a faster exit out of coronavirus lockdown, saying the last thing businesses needed was a stop-start return to life. Sunak further said the following.
What we want is a cautious but irreversible approach. That's why we've taken the approach that we have, and those will be the earliest dates that we think we can do the various things that we've laid out, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that it is hopefully irreversible. And what businesses don't want is a stop-start approach to this. We want to know that it's a one-way road, and that's why it's cautious. We've given the earliest of dates to give a sense of timing and a sense of direction, and then obviously we might have to adjust those if things are not going exactly as we would like. But look, the early signs are promising.
Back in the Sultanate, the Ministry of Health announced that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 141,496, while the total number of deaths reached 1,570. The total recovered cases reached 132,495, which is 94% of the total recovery rate. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients during 24 hours reached 197, among which 67 are in intensive care units. The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion affirmed that the Sultans joining the Geneva Act of the Lisbon Agreement with regard to the appellation of origin and geographical indications will provide international legal protection for Omani products, including khanjars, frankincense, halwa, Omani lemon trees, Jabal Akhdar, pomegranate, and Omani thyme trees. The Geneva Act will provide financial revenues for the Sultanate as member countries in this act protect appellation of origin and its geographical indications inside the Sultanate. Dr. Qasim bin Saleh Al-Abri, a specialist in cardiovascular surgery at Sultan Qaboos University Hospital, received the Michael Davidson Award, which is awarded by the Society of Thoracic Surgeons based in the United States of America. The Society of Thoracic Surgeons is considered as a reference for surgeries and results at world level. The prize is awarded annually, and doctors are nominated after being recommended by their hospitals to apply and compete for this award after verifying their CVs and professional performance. The research which obtained the award will contribute in helping heart surgeons to refine and train their skills in this field, as the award reflects the importance of Omani doctors worldwide. A virtual arts exhibition was designed by two sisters, Muna and Shamsa, in the Governorate of Brahmi. It is aimed to shed light on the graphic designs field, as well as using the modern technologies in serving the arts movement in the Sultanate. The digital works presented in the exhibition included pictures of His Majesty the Sultan and some government officials, along with other personalities. It also included artistic portraits of animals and Arabic calligraphy showing verses from the Holy Quran. The works can be viewed through the website of the Omani Fine Art Society in the Governorate of Brahmi. This is the Sultan of Oman Television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq receives a written message from His Highness the Emir of Kuwait, handed over to His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Said. The Shura Council discusses the drafts of amending some provisions of the laws of insurance companies and Takaful insurance. And with the aim to boost security and to achieve self-sufficiency in food, model fields for plantation of lemon, mango and date palm trees are implemented in various governorates. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here, one more time to keep following the precautionary measures of wearing face masks, washing hands and keeping physical distances from each other. From all of us here in the Oman News Center, thanks for watching. Good night.